but I haven't been wanting to update my computer. Let me say what time it is right now. It is 10:09 a.m. on January. Now it's 10:10 a.m. on January the 14th, 2021 here in Salem, Indiana. So if you're just tuning in, if you're just tuning in, hello. Hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. I do apologize about my hair. It's sticking up. Um, but is there an afterlife? Okay. I wholeheartedly believe that there is life after death. I believe that I am just a spirit in this body. And I think a lot of other people feel like they're a spirit in the body too. Because when this body's gone, your spirit's gone, okay? Or your soul, okay? Your soul is gone. It doesn't reside in the body. When the body dies, and you can't just say, well, that's it, that I'm ceased to exist. I don't believe that. I personally believe that this soul, this spirit, it's leaving this body and it's going on. But that's not what I'm talking about. So I've been putting off updating my laptop. And so I was watching a video this morning on how to do a greenhouse. And when that video was done, I was trying to close out of that video, and then my whole none of my buttons worked on my laptop right here. None of my buttons worked on my laptop. So I had to restart it, and I didn't want to restart it. And this is really strange. This is what happened probably around 10, 15 minutes ago. When I restarted my computer, this great big thing popped up on a note on my computer. I thought, where on earth did this come from? And then I started reading it because I guess maybe a long, long, long time ago, I copied something that somebody wrote in a comment. I think that's happened. But you know, this story, I just read it, and it is remarkable what this individual had to say about being on this earth several times before and being put in these bodies several times before. You may say, Gina, well, I'm not listening to you. I am not listening to you. Hello, you're also very welcome, because you know this needs to be addressed. It really does. About some people believe in reincarnation, that you come back here over and over again until you learn what you need to learn, until you get it right. Okay. And then you have like you have Moses or John the Baptist. You have John the Baptist in the Bible. He came in the spirit of Elijah. Elijah got in his body because Jesus said, you know, Elijah did come and you did to him what you wanted, and he was in the spirit. He was in the body of Moses. So if you're just tuning in, I had to restart my laptop, and when I did, because I've been putting it off because I didn't want no updates, this note showed up on my laptop, and I never did read it, and I don't even know how long ago it was put on there, but I thought, how did that get on there? So I guess I must have put it on there. But there's this detailed timeline of this person. Hello. I'm going to read this, you all, because this is so interesting. I'm going to read it. I copied that so I could read it because it's a little bit bigger now. This person wrote, I think it must have been in a comment section on the YouTube. Who knows when it was written? I don't know, but I want to read it. It says, I'm not going into the details with you because my case is different than most. She said, I had specific memories wiped from my mind for a reason so that I could live a more normal life and experience human emotions and a human life now. I'm going to explain this to you, this individual says, because I have a bloodline and my bloodline is important. I'm not all entirely human. I have abilities and I have gifts. I have a job in my life that I have done all of my existence, but I was sent here as a kind of a punishment to learn humility by God, and each of my lifetime ended prematurely and not as I had hoped. There was no teaching of humility, and those lifetimes, in all these lifetimes, I was both male and female. And then I was female. I was in World War I. I was in Egypt during Moses' time, where I was a young boy, of course. I was less times a boy than I was a woman, and a female in this lifetime was the only lifetime that I actually got to live long enough to have children and watch them grow up. So, not a case of a believing in reincarnation. This person says, for those who don't believe in reincarnation, I'm actually going from body to body souls because God makes the souls. But the fact is, my soul isn't entirely human, as my bloodline is not. I have what many people would say was an illness in which I die every night. I leave my body and I'm able to astro project naturally. I hear people astro projecting, and this person who wrote this, it just showed up on my laptop. I must have copied it and put it there a long, long time ago. But if you're just tuning in, this is really, this is the story that this individual had written. I'm going to read it to you. Now, this is not for everyone. I'm going to tell you, this is not for everyone to hear about this because people don't believe in life after death or reincarnation or any of this stuff. But this was so interesting. I want to finish reading it because this is not a normal video for me either, but that's okay. You've had experiences. So they say, they astro project naturally, and I am able to go where I needed and do what I needed to do. Now I can tell you what I am, but what you've been educated to believe because of the changes in the Bible by the Roman Catholics in order to frighten people, you would automatically assume that I am and I should look a certain way and be a certain way, and I am just the opposite of that. But I have been on this earth and aware of my existence on this earth since the beginning. I actually was in heaven and was a warrior for God, working and walking among Christ and God after Christ was created. Now, that's, yeah. I was there for his birth. I was there for his crucifixion. On that day, my name was Miriam. See, so I'm just read this to you. I have seen terrible atrocities, man's inhumanity to man, and I've seen the most beautiful things ever. I was put with this family. I think they're talking about the family they're in right now, because their daughter died at birth from a placenta previa. She bled to death, and I was put in the bodies of this woman who had already lost her daughter at age 2 and suffered so greatly that she almost died. And God, with mercy, she was supposed to have twins, and one did not fully develop, so she lost that twin. And then the second one died, and God inserted me into that baby so that I had to live the lifetime serving as the infant, but also having a fully grown soul inside, coming out at times and serving as an agent celestial to do God's work. Are you all catching this? This is this woman's explanation about life after death, what's happened. And I'm sorry, my hair is wild, but listen to this. This is really, there have been people who have remembrances of when they were on this earth before. Now, this is really detailed what this woman said. Yes, so let's look at this. So they were celestial to do God's work. I don't know if I can ever make you understand what that is, but to battle evil and demons and to help while I go through what you guys now call sleep apnea. But I would stop breathing for a very long period of time and then come back to my body before it would be too badly damaged to be revived. And I did that always. And as soon as I was old enough to talk, I began explaining to them that I could see spirits and I could talk to the spirits. This is the thing that this person had wrote. I could talk to the spirits, and when her mother died, I would give her messages from her mother, and her father died in my arms, and I would see death on people, and I would know within 3 days of the day that I saw it that they would also be dead. And it was a very small town, and I could not and was not allowed by the family to discuss what I was witnessing and going through. And I could not explain to them that I was not their original baby. Are you all getting this? This person is saying that their soul was put into this baby that this woman delivered because she had miscarriage before and her twins died and stuff. So this person was put into this baby. I know this sounds weird, but it showed up on my laptop when I rebooted it, and I thought, where on earth did it come from? And I guess I never read it, obviously. So let's get on with this. If you're just tuning in. So she says, yeah, she knew something. Okay, she was put into the original baby. Let's talk about this. So let's see. All right. She could not explain to them that I was not their original baby. I think they understood that there was something different about me. And I knew when my mother was going to die that she was going to die. I left my body when they took her away, and I flew her to another state to have surgery. And I was with her on the operating room and watched her die. And she knew when I was 25 years old and she was 53, that by then that I was somebody different, and that we both visited God often, and that by then she understood that I saw spirits, talk to the dead, and could get messages to people, but I could still not talk in public about it. Good morning. Did I say that? Hello. Yeah, I think I did. I'll say it again. Hello. Wherever you are in any part of the world, hello from my heart to yours. I'm reading something that showed up on my computer, and I forgot all about it. I guess months and months and months ago. Yeah, so this person could still not talk in public about it. So when I tell you there's different kinds of demons, different kinds of dragons, and when I've been predicting what's coming, and you guys don't listen, I grieve, because I can't take the time to convince you while I'm busy helping those who do believe to prepare their families. I was just outside where there were 5 UFOs over my house. One wasn't a bad one that was cloaked on a flat cloud. This is not a bad. She said this one wasn't the bad UFO. It was cloaked on a flat cloud where the entire sky was filled with cumulus nimbus clouds, and there was one long, flat, cigar-shaped cloud in the sea of the cumulus numbers, puffy clouds, and it set by itself, but the other small ones were our friends. But that long one, that big one, is not our friend. God is going to have to destroy the earth because of all the damage that has been done to it, and because of what they want to do to it. He has found us another planet that will support life very near here. As planets go, we would still use our same sun and our same moon, the world's most cheesiest, but it also has a second sun. So when Miss Hill was talking about the ships are flying around the sun in the moon, she's saying the winged creatures believe her because we're battling now, because they decided to attack the suns in the moon because they hate us so much that they want to destroy the sun and the moon, because they know that this earth, our earth, depends on those two in order to survive for the humans. And if they destroy the sun and the moon, or they damage them bad enough, we will not survive. This is what this was said. I just now reading this. We would not survive. So if you see winged creatures, they are probably there because they're chasing something that they're trying to battle, or they're inspecting to see where they need to attack. The fact that there is a group of aliens called the Erexians. Have you all heard of the Erexians? Erexians. I'm going to pause right there. I have never heard of this. The Erexians. Have you heard of it? I'm gonna wait for a lag. Erexians. No. Okay. Okay. So she says the fact that there is a group of aliens called the Erexians, they are what we used to call the Greys. Oh, okay. the Greys, and they are here to help us survive what's coming. And they are trying to unite all of their ships around the earth to make a power grid to protect us against any direct hits, either nuclear or by these other aliens that are coming at us, called the Zambanians. The Zambanians, have you heard of the Zambanians? This is the first time I've read this. The Zambanians. I've not heard of the Zambanians. Let's wait. You're going to be right back. So we have the Erexians that used to be called Greys, and now they're talking about these aliens coming at us called the Zambanians, which look like Arnold Schwarzenegger and an alien bred and had babies, and those guys are pure assassins. I've met with them and I fought with them, and it would take 6 men to put one of them down, and they would all have to have superhuman powers, and they are coming here to destroy us. And the Exarians can interlock their ships and create a power grid that will repel anything that comes at us. I helped design their ships, and they're called Novas. I helped create a weapon called a solar cannon that uses the energy of the sun, and this is another reason why they wanted to destroy it, in a way that it absorbs the sun's energy and it fires it back and intense pulses, and it can destroy multiple ships at once. I had a ship called the Supernova, and it was being held at Cheyenne Mountain. It was discovered in the Antarctic, and my ship is approximately 250 by 280, and it's a huge ship, but it's a mothership. It's a huge mothership. And they also say there was UFOs and a few large blackbirds being shot out by UFOs all in September of 2020. And the large clouds are ships for the most part, and the small black pod crafts are leaving these ships, I think, to attack evil in the form of the large black birds, at least from this person's videos. So I've seen the black pods coming out of ships. I have personally seen them coming out from the clouds in the ships. And we all think that's, well, not we all. I have thought that there's some kind of a grid around the earth. But yeah, this is the wildest thing. You say, Gina, that's too much. I'm not going to listen to you. Well, I'm telling you something. I had to restart my computer because my internet totally locked up, and I've been putting off starting my computer, re-updating my computer for around 2 or 3 months, and this right here showed up. I thought, what is that? And how did it get on my computer? This great big, I guess it was a comment or something, and I had put it there a long, 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 long time ago. But it showed up when I restarted my computer, and I don't know what it was. Yeah, so they're trying to destroy the moon and the sun because they don't want us, she says, they don't want us to have a new Earth or something like that. And you know, they did shoot like rockets up there and things like that. Yeah, I know it sounds wild. It sounded wild, but there is talk of a life after this life, and there is a life after this life. You're just the spirit in this body, a soul in this body. It's like that song, I am on my way to the mansion land where the soul of man never dies. Yeah, where the soul of man never dies and the spirit doesn't die. CME. I know that was a wild story. It was. I've never read it before. But we know that there's good extraterrestrials and there's bad extraterrestrials who literally want to destroy the human race. So we're not in this fight alone. We're not at all. We do have help from the good extraterrestrials and from the angels and stuff. If you're watching this, there is help for us. It might get bumpy, but we're not in this alone. And what we're facing here on this earth, we're being watched. We are being monitored, okay? Um, there's nothing that's being done behind the scenes that is not being taken into account by the good extraterrestrials, by the angels, by God. There's nothing being done behind the scenes that is not going unnoticed. And one day, it's going to be made right. It is. Yeah, so we're not battling alone at all. Yeah, and I have this one friend that I speak to on the phone. Her son, when her son was born, he was before he got around age 5 or so. As he got older, he forgot. He goes, "Mom," he goes, "I used to be an old man." She goes, "What are you talking about?" Because he had these stories. He was talking about he was an old man. He was married. He had children. He lived on a farm, and he would tell stories, doing things with his brother and stuff. And he said, he told her how he died. He was on his roof, repairing the roof to one of his barns or something, and he fell off there and he died. But as he got older, and I guess as he got those, what, like this, they go poke into your, as he got those and stuff, and he got older, he no longer talked about it anymore, but he had a recollection of who he was before he is who he is now. And this child is now around 13 or 14 years old. It could be 15. Your grandson spoke to blue people, and he is 6. I'm sure he did, because they don't want us to know. They want to destroy this part, that pineal gland, I think, that's in our heads. They want to destroy it. Okay, that's that spiritual part within us, okay, that has that connection. They want to wipe our memory completely out so we don't know nothing. Do away with it. We can't have that. We can't. We got to keep our vibrations high. I'm looking because a while ago before I came up here, there was an enormous loud noise in the sky. It sounded like a gigantic helicopter flying super low. And I was looking back around the tree lines in the southern sky, and I heard it. It was humongous. But I couldn't see it. It was humongously loud, and it sounded like it was humongously low. Yeah. Um, could I publish the letter? Yeah, I can copy it so you all can read it. I most definitely can. I can copy it. I had to log onto my laptop. I will copy it, and I will put it on the Facebook community page where you can read it, because that's very interesting. And there's been other people who have experiences and who have knowledge. There's people who astral travel. There's people who have stories to tell, recollections to tell that sounds like that's way out there, but it's not. I don't think it is. I think there's a lot of truth to it. I really do. Um, you have visited different planets, yes. Um, there's tons of jets flying, yeah. You astral projected other planets, and yes, they have personalities and they all have their own energy. Stay positive. Yes, you've got to stay positive. Don't let yourself go into a downward spiral and let that negative energy attach itself to you, to where you spew out angry things or slander or anything that's going to lower that vibration. Love is the key. It's the key to peace and balance within. You've got to have it. Without it, you're not going to have no peace. You're not going to have no balance at all. Two types, yeah, everlasting and reincarnation, because your mission is not complete, yeah. Do you believe the aliens are the fallen angels, or what do you think they are? I've already said what I think. There are good extraterrestrials and there are bad extraterrestrials. There are good human beings and there are bad human beings. It's you got the good, you got the bad. You can't just have one totally different. You can't say that every single extraterrestrial is bad, because angels would fit into that field too. If there's dark angels, there's angels of light, and there are angels of light. There's beings of light. You may say, well, Satan himself masquerades around as an angel of light. Yeah, that's what the scripture says. But it does also speak of, like, Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel, Michael, all of them. Yeah. So there's a malevolent and benevolent in human species and extraterrestrial species. Um, yeah. And there's extraterrestrials who are malevolent that can get inside a person and control their thoughts, their behavior, and everything, and take over their body. That too. Um, yeah, angels and demons. There's both. It takes both in this world. Otherwise, you wouldn't be seeing what you got going on right now in the world, globally. It is a war. It's a spiritual war taking place between spirits, but it's manifesting in the spiritual, in the physical realm now. The spiritual realm has manifested into the material realm, the physical realm, and that's what we're seeing taking place. Do I think that we are in Revelation now? You could say we probably are. How far? I don't know. But I've been hearing that for years, since 2004, from people. They would tell their congregation, the rapture's coming. This is back in 2004, and then they would revise their rapture by a few years, and then they keep revising and revising, and then you have the group of people. I've heard it all my life. I am now 54 years of age. I've heard this all my life. The rapture's coming, and you can find this in church groups all around the world. We are the only true bride of Christ. We are the only people who are going to go up in the rapture. We are the only, the right church to be in. We are the only ones who think, or whoever right on the inside. There's so many people who claim that they are in certain churches, that they are the only ones that going up in the rapture. They are the only bride of Christ. I've heard it all my life, and I'm still hearing it to this day. If you don't believe the way that they believe, if you don't go to the church that they go to, if you don't associate with the people that you're supposed to, then you're not going to make it. This is global. That's a global mindset too. It is a global mindset too, and I think it's wrong. I really do think it's wrong. There is no, we are the only. Okay, we're not. It's no, I'm in one part of the world, you're in one part of the world. Yeah, so I've heard it all my life. Yeah, who claim they're the only special people. Well, God is not a respecter of persons, okay? He's not. So how could a person be the only? But anyhow, we are in this together, and we're just trying to survive at this point. We're trying to survive, and encourage each other to keep up the faith and fight the good fight. Do all that you can, and do it in love, okay? Keep that love in life, the love and light inside of you. Keep it. Don't let nobody take it away, and don't let nobody put it out. We are at the end of the age, yeah. That's right. It's not an organized religion. It's not. Love is not organized. It's not. I believe in Jesus Christ too. I do. And this is a spiritual battle. There really is. But, some people have used religion to divide, and that's wrong. That's man's doing, using certain religious sects to divide and conquer, with religious differences, when we should all be united in love. Um, yeah. It seems we are losing our heads. Yeah. uh, Merlin's War, it talks about other beings and the spiritual war. Yeah. Love is the highest frequency. And if you have love, you are able to live a very peaceful life. And when people look at you and they're drawn to you and stuff, it's because they want some of that love too. They want that peace within. Uh, but some just can't get it within. They can't. Um, yeah. Energy band. Well, I love you all too. And I'm telling you, this is not easy. This is not a subject. What I just read earlier in the video, and to get on here with my hair looking like this, I don't care. I really don't. I do care, but it doesn't matter. If I got something I want to say, I'm going to do it on the spur of the moment. It's not easy to read what I read, because you couldn't pay somebody else to do that. You couldn't. Yeah, because they're going to think I'm not going to look like some crazy person. but that's just a label, okay? There are people who have experienced life after death. There's people who had near-death experiences. There are people who claim they were someone else before coming to this earth. There are people who astral travel. There are people who can see. I've heard it before in my life. They can tell when somebody's about to die. They can see it. Okay, there's people who can see certain spirits in other people. There's people who can see auras. There's people who have the gift of healing. There's people who have the gift of foresight. They can see what's coming. They're premonition. They're very intuitive. There's people who have dreams that tell them what's coming. Sometimes those dreams may not be truly the real dream, but there are people who have prophetic dreams and stuff. There's so many gifts. There's so many talents. There's so much that is given to us from the spiritual realm. If you are gifted in that way, it's real because it exists. And some people just want to dismiss it, but it does exist. The spiritual realm is real. Yes, that's right. Don, you're right. Not everyone has the same gift. Don't follow the matrix. Unplug from it. Yeah, unplug from it. I tell you what, I have a lot of peace within me because I don't watch the news. And I don't want to hear the negativeness because the energy, negative energy does travel through those currents. Okay, we got electricity in our body too. So if we're watching something like that, it's going to travel. And we don't want that. We want to unplug from it. Spiritually speaking, don't let it be. Don't become a vessel for that negativeness. Yeah. But we need to stay aware enough to prepare spiritually on the inside. You've got to be so strong on the inside. You've got to prepare yourself here. That's why it's important to guard your heart because it's the wellspring of life. Guard it. Put big bars around it. Don't let the enemy break into it. Don't. Yeah, they travel through radio waves. That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of people who have that gut instinct, but guess what? Some people do. They dismiss it. They second guess themselves because their faith is small. We all have different levels of faith too, different measures of faith. It is true. So some people are stronger than others. Some people have more faith than others. So the stronger ones have to be there for the weaker ones. That's true. You do. Yes, like a fortress. Yes. Mm-hmm. About the thoughts of people who left their body. Your girlfriend on the right, you had one to leave church because everything you just said. Um, let me read this again. So, Suzanne, what about the thoughts of who have left their bodies? Your girlfriend, right on, had to leave the church because of everything you just said. Well, yeah, you've got to do what you feel led within your spirit. You really do. Yeah. Well, I am going to go. I'm probably going to fix my hair since it's sticking up and get ready for the day. I threw this on because it's cold up here, and I thought I'd get to go outside and see that great big helicopter. It was the loudest one I've ever heard, and it sounded like it was flying low. Yeah. Your friend's cat, astral projected. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you all. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to log on. I've got my login book up here. I'm going to put this on the Facebook, the YouTube community page so you can read what I read at the beginning of this video, the encounter, the experience that has been shared while on this earth by this woman. You're so very, very, you're so very welcome. And I'll see you all later today. Have a wonderful rest of your day.